Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Once again, I'm Nick from Nasdaq, but otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet, and we gotta check out this article. Jones Infowars at auction, won by the Sandy Hook family's backing. The Onion, it has bought Infowars. That is freaking crazy. So this is amazing. It's wonderful. In my opinion, it's just freaking great because the Sandy Hook thing really made me disrespect Alex Jones. I really shouldn't even say his name now. Like, I really hate the guy so much that I almost put him up there with serial killers. I just kind of refuse to say his name unless I absolutely have to. Maybe going forward, that's what I'll do. Now, at the same time, no, because you kind of got to give it to him because... So Alex Jones has legitimately uncovered some stuff. This is Bohemia, one place where rich people, rich males get together and have a good time. They're not supposed to weave webs or do or talk about, this, that, or the other thing, but you know damn well they do. They're like, no, nothing pagan ever happens here. But this is pagan. This is pagan. It's not high-end pagan, let's face it. This is mostly kind of entertainment. I don't think anyone actually believes any of these spirits legitimately exist. But they said it wasn't happening. It was happening. And when rich people get together, especially men, feminists, you know what happens here. At the same time, though, the audio on that is copyright protected. So, sorry, I mean the audio that he picked up that they play at that camp is under copyright protection. So it's interesting. It's hidden audio that is under copyright protection. It's just like, wow. Okay, that's just interesting. But anyways, moving on. The Sandy Hook, this piece of crap here, entertained individuals who were angry at the Sandy Hook for this, that, or the other reason. There's like one security guy who put in a bid to get information or do some work involved with it. There was a woman who was a janitor who wanted to do work with it, but they weren't allowed to, and they got outbid, and in being frustrated with that, they called into Alex Jones with complaints saying it could be this, could be that, could be the other thing. And then something strange happened, something unbelievably strange happened, and people started crowding in on it, being like, oh, something's going on here. But legitimately, this is a horrible situation when you read about it as a father. As a father and as someone who loves social workers and therapists, who aren't my social workers and therapists, there is just so much trauma in that. They had to pull pieces of one person out of another person. Like, legitimately, in all this time, Alex Jones was facilitating a group that would kind of come together. They would be like, oh, we're in a group of friends, and we're going to agree that there's conspiracies going on. So once they get into that, they go like one step further, and that's when conspiracy theory stops being fun and you really got to back yourself up quite a bit. And they start calling and harassing the family of the survivors, saying things like, why do you have to have a closed casket? There wasn't actually a kid in there. And the thing was, there wasn't enough left of the kid to put in that casket. I mean, guys, if you call somebody up and say something like that, hell, I hope hell doesn't have any mercy on you, legitimately. Legit, I hope hell has no mercy on your soul. And if I don't go to heaven, then I'd prefer to be a demon that would get to, burn in hell, but also make sure that your time in hell was worse, because you gave this family a hard time. Legitimately. So anyways, the families get together and they decided to fight back. And then the people on the internet, who were originally the monsters, are suddenly all Nietzsche's pale criminal, where they're like, oh, now we're being discriminated against. Oh, people are calling us and telling us we're this. Guys, you went too frickin' far. Legitimately. Someone should have knew the frickin' line on that. I'm amazed how much they got away with on that Sandy Hook thing. It's almost as if, okay, I don't really mean this, but off the top of my head, it almost feels like the outrage that Alex Jones let onto the heads of the families of the survivors. It's comparable to what happened to the kids in some ways. And in doing that, Alex Jones readers and people that support Alex Jones and the people that made these calls, you are almost the exact same evil as the evil that you claim is there. You've seen a monster out there in the dark, and you became a monster to try to fight it. But the monster you became hurt people around you that were real, while the monster you were trying to fight was never real to begin with. So the monster you were trying to fight is something in your own head. Guys, battle not with monsters, lest you become a monster, and fear not, and stare not into the void. Otherwise, the void will stare into you. Guys, you stared into the void and you seen a monster. The monster was, I don't know, something that you imagine. You imagine it, come on, let's face it, like, feminists imagine, like, really horrible white men that control everything, and you're one of them, right? You guys imagine things, too. Hell, I'm sure I imagine things. Most people I know at one point or another imagine things. But sometimes those things that they imagine, if you follow the algorithms, aren't totally, completely off. But I'm telling you guys, on this Sandy Hook stuff, you guys were totally and completely off. And I am glad that Infowars is now owned by the Sandy Hook family. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's perfect. That's wonderful. I should focus on the positive. I'm so mad at Alex Jones and the conspiracy theorists that gave those parents a hard time. I almost lost my daughter when she was a newborn. I held her in my hands as her life was leaving her body, and the doctor told me, don't let her go to sleep. Guys, I have my daughter. These guys don't. And if you would give these guys a hard time, if you were my neighbor, I would give you a hard time. I would absolutely give you a hard time. I would knock on your door and we would have some disagreeable conversations. And if you gave me a hard time, I'd ask you if you'd like to come for a walk in the park, just to talk. Just to talk. I can't believe the amount of monsters I see on the internet on all sides who are trying to fight monsters or trying to become monsters in order to fight monsters. And sometimes you need to become a monster in order to fight other monsters. We need disagreeable men that want to drive down the road in Humvees with people shooting at them, because there are people in other countries that want to shoot at our people. They want to shoot at our women and children. Absolutely, these people exist. Like, people are like, oh, no one is like that. Everyone's peace-loving, and as long as we're not colonialism. No. Guys, let's meet in the freaking middle. We all need to live together, right? And we all need to know shit like this is going to happen. And I really hope that Alex Jones has to eat shit from this family. I really hope these families get to be his new boss. I hope he has to look each and every one of them in the eye, and I hope that they'll find some justice. God damn, that Sandy Hook was... God damn. So, don't look into it. Guys, don't look into it. Like, seriously, there's so much information going around about dark things. So there was a time when dark information was really romantic, and we wanted to hear really dark things, but we shouldn't be doing that anymore because we have so much goddamn data on everything. I was looking up a ghost story that brought me to a legitimate video where I swear to God, there's definitely a ghost. There's definitely something in there. And when I found out the whole story, when I heard the kid's last words, guys, I'm fucked now. Wow, dude. The Watts story, wow. It's like we have so much access to all kinds of information. And there's so many horrible tidbits in that Sandy Hook case, that this guy deserves to burn in hell for the stuff that he facilitated, for not calling his people out and saying, don't do that, you've gone too goddamn far. And I know that he has in the past. He's not racist. Alex Jones is not racist. I've heard him shut people down for racism really quickly. But, guys, wow. We should just take it back to the day when conspiracy theorists were fun and, like, entertaining. And we're like, yeah, that's a funny idea. Let's see how that goes, kind of thing. Not like, the aliens are trying to eat my thoughts. They're not trying to eat your thoughts. They're trying to eat your feelings. Get up to date with this stuff. God. Anyways, have a good one, folks. And please take care of each other, will you?